colleges and laboratories and facilities and amenities and hostels and messes and how much trouble they take. It appears like they are very big-hearted and they are opening the college, but then they are sitting there with their galla ready. Bring 20 lakhs, bring 10 lakhs, heavy fees and heavy capitation fee and everything. Correct, no? So education has become a business. And what the children are getting is, your ancestors were apes, and everything came from nothing. This kind of knowledge they get. So if you don't expose it, so Prabhupada openly called it as a spiritual slaughterhouse. If you don't tell the truth to people, they will be gullible. Masses will get cheated. Correct, no? And so they will all line up, to get kicks on their face, but from this bogus information. So although modern education is helpful to fetch a job sometimes and fill your belly, it doesn't do anything more to the quality of your life in terms of advancing in spiritual life. So therefore, the truth should be spelled out. So therefore, in this 11th verse, we read, we have to know both what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do. One should not get cheated by that. So you all have heard about Asali and Nakli, correct? No? So which one you should know? You should know Asali or you should know Nakli? Both you should know. Why? You should know both because in the world, what is available? Both are available. Asli is also available, Nakli is also available. But if you don't know the Nakli, you say, why don't talk about negative things about Nakli? Why are you talking Nakli and all? You are a sadhu, just be very pure. Always say the pure thing, leave it. But the problem is what? Huh? Yeah, then you cannot discriminate. You're going to get cheated when you see that because the original and the imitation one appear similar externally. So therefore, we have to tell. Therefore, this mantra's emphasis is that only. The emphasis is that only that you should know what is right, what is wrong. Process of nescience and that of the transcendental knowledge. This is one thing I really loved in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. When George Harrison met Prabhupada, he asked the same question. He asked, Swamiji, why have you given the title Bhagavad Gita as it is? It appears from your name of your book that other Bhagavad Gitas are not as authentic as yours. Will people not feel bad about it? And then Prabhupada said, what is the goal of the Gita? And then Prabhupada himself explained. He said, it is to become addicted to Krishna. Krishna says that, Maya sakta manah partha yogam yunjan madashreya asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnasasi tatshuno. I am going to tell you, Arjuna, this knowledge here attentively and become attached to me. He says. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, are the people becoming attached? And Prabhupada asks, go all over the world. Which organization is giving a Bhagavad Gita which makes you become attached to the Lord? And then Prabhupada said, most organizations keep Krishna and Arjuna aside. And they are talking about all Shushka Jnana, dry knowledge about soul, body, mind, and all these things. They are processing the knowledge without bringing the personality of Godhead, who is the source of all knowledge. In fact, Shastra says, Yasmin Vijñāte Sarvamevam Vijñātum Bhavati. If you know Krishna, Sa Sarvavit Bhajati Mam. Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Sarvavit means what? All knowing you become. But they are not allowing you to become all knowing. They want to keep you under their control, control of the self-made gods. Correct, no? So therefore, Prabhupada thoroughly exposed. And Prabhupada told George Harrison, you have seen ISKCON devotees, when they read Bhagavad Gita, see the lifestyle, what heart transformation they undergo. And the other Gitas are sleeping in the libraries. Even if you take out, you have to blow the dust off. And once in a blue moon, somebody may read it. So Prabhupada said, what transformation those Gitas brought about, think about it. And then George Harrison thought for a while and said, yes, Swami, very correct. He said in his society, I see, it's Krishna Mayam. Anywhere you go to any ISKCON temple, which word you very commonly hear? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everywhere Hare Krishna. Kitchen you go, you hear Hare Krishna. Book distribution table, Hare Krishna. Correct, no? Temple hall, Hare Krishna Kirtan is going on. Harinam, Hare Krishna. Everywhere Hare Krishna. So in this way, and also everywhere you turn around, you find pictures and dioramas and the deity form of the Lord, and prasadam is being distributed. Everybody's uttering prayers. So George Harrison could appreciate this, that this Bhagavad Gita is bringing about a real life practical transformation. Then he accepted Bhagavad Gita as it is. So read these 9 points discussed.
The relative position of the material and spiritual knowledge. The stringent laws of the nature, no one can surpass or influence them. Real immortality, going back home, back to Godhead. Reason for relevant...
Why he is using the word real? Because Jnanis also talk about immortality, but their buddhi is called Avishuddha Buddhi. Why it's Avishuddha Buddhaya? Because they go to impersonal Brahman and don't get seva engagement there, then they come to material world. So this so-called immortality is temporary immortality. They are not Arisha Kritrena Parampadam Tataha. Vatanti Ado Anadratishmadangraya. Yes. Therefore, real immortality means, Janma Bandha Vinar Mukta Padam Gacchantanamayam. There are 2 steps. Janma Bandha Vinar Mukta means you leave the material world and go to Brahman. Padam Gacchantanamayam means the rocket is going out of the, this and then it is entering a particular planet. Then only in that planet you'll meet somebody. There'll be exchange of love. Otherwise, you like Skylab went up and came down. Huh? Like that Padanti Yadu Anadratishmadanga says. Yeah.
Reason for revelation of scripture, saintly persons and descent of the Lord. Purpose of miseries in the material world, to remind real identity. Failure of attempt to remain happy in the material world. Culture of Vidya and real sense gratification. Vedic principles of salvation. Endeavoring for a peaceful and permanent life in this world is wrong in so many ways. First of all, the living being is a spiritual entity and he can be happy only by returning to his spiritual home. Other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no one else can control or influence the stringent laws of the nature. No one can escape the powerful hands of the death. Material world means avidya or place, ignorance, which is the path of repeated birth, old age, disease and death. No one can escape this cycle. Unrestricted sense enjoyment in the bodily condition is the path of ignorance and death. Activities of the material senses are perverted. They can only perceive illusory happiness, not the real happiness. Real enjoyment is possible only when the disease of materialism is removed.
Yeah, understood. Huh? It's all about comparison, about how the material engagement and the material impure senses cannot make us happy. So avidya. So in this way, there's three verses. Totally how many? 6 verses. 2 verses about 3 verses about vidya, avidya, and other 3 verses about sambhutim and asambhutim. After finishing all these things, then we are coming to the solid, very, very important verse. It's verse number 15. Very beautiful verse. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखम् तत्त्वं पूषन्न पावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. What meaning? What?
Hiranmayena, by a golden effulgence. Patrena, by a dazzling covering. Satyasya, of the supreme truth. Apihitam, covered. Mukham, the face. Tat, that covering. Tvam, yourself. Pushan, O sustainer. Apavrenu, kindly remove. Satya, pure. Dharmaya, unto the devotee. Drishtaye, for exhibiting. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee.
Yeah. So this is a very, very important verse. Hiranyamaya means gold. You know that Sri Suktam has that word. Hiranmayim, Lakshmim, it comes. Hiranmayim means golden. So therefore it says Hiranmayena. So the golden effulgence is covering your face. Satyasya apihitam mukham. Mukham means, yeah, the face of the Lord. Apihitam means cover. So the dazzling, which is that dazzling effulgence is covering the Lord's face? That you can read in the 14.27. That's what Prabhupada says, the purport, first point. Brahmanohi patishtaham. I am the support of the Brahman. That effulgence actually comes from me. Krishna says that. So that is explained, yeah. So you can recite the verse. Brahmanohi patishtaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya ekantikasya cha.
I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
Yeah. Yes. Because
Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are three aspects of the same absolute truth. Brahman is the aspect most easily perceived by the beginner. Paramatma, the supersoul, is realized by those who have further progressed, and Bhagavan realization is the ultimate realization of the absolute truth. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.7, where Lord Krishna says that he is the ultimate concept of the absolute truth. Mattaha parataram nanyat. Therefore, Krishna is the source of the Brahma Jyoti as well as the all-pervading Paramatma. Later in the Bhagavad Gita 10.42, Krishna further explains.
Atava bhavanaitena kim nyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam kristam ekamshena sthito jagat.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Thus, by his one plenary expansion, the all-pervading Paramatma, the Lord maintains the complete material cosmic creation. He also maintains all manifestations in the spiritual world. Therefore, in this Shruti mantra of Sri Isopanishad, the Lord is addressed as Pushan, the ultimate maintainer.
I remember that word, Pushanne Karshe Yamasudya Prajapatya Yoga Rashmin Samoha Tejo. That Pushan is maintainer. You can easily remember the word Pushan by portion. Correct? Portion is maintained. Correct? It's supreme maintainer. So, Actually, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan are not different entities. It's only same, one entity only, but perceived in three different ways. Hmm. Jnana is perceived as only impersonal, effulgence, and the yogis, Bhagavan, and the bhaktas, Bhagavan. So it is its Lord's ability to reveal only a partial amount of information to those worshippers who deserve that much realization only. They don't deserve beyond that. Correct, no? See, for example, in your home, when some unknown person comes, correct, no? So he will first ask you, please may I come in, correct, no? And then you are asking, who are you? And then he says so and so, and oh really? Okay, please come in. He comes and gives you a letter or something. You make him sit, give him something. He takes some response from you and then goes back. Correct, no? But if it is a neighbor, then they may not even ask you, please may I come in. They may just come into the drawing room directly. Drawing room is the first room as soon as they come. Correct, no? So they may just come and sit on the sofa. How is everything? Today is a holiday for you, Saturday. So he may be a little more friendly. Correct, no? Now, imagine it's your own blood brother or blood sister. Uh, in that home you're going, for example. You're just going. You will just barge in directly, you'll go inside, correct? No? You enter the room and then you keep your luggage, everything, and then you just start going inside, using the home like that, correct? No? If it is one of the members of the home only, for example, in your own home you're living, you've gone to the office or you've gone to the school or somewhere, when you come back, do you ask, Papa, please may I come in? Will you ask, Mama, please may I come in? Where is the formality there? It's your own house only. They are intimate relatives. You can directly go to the kitchen, open the fridge, take some sandwich, isn't it? Isn't it? You can go and sit anywhere you want. You have more freedom. So you can see the house is same, but three people behave differently in the same house. Different amounts of intimacy with the home, or the owner of the home, isn't it? Hmm. And also you see a doctor, for example, he knows about your body, but he doesn't know about you. Correct, no? Like, your doctor can exactly, take the stethoscope and keep it. And then he will see what is the kind of breathing you are doing. And he may say you have fever, or this is a degree, temperature is 103, 102 degree Fahrenheit or something like that. Paracetamol, something he prescribes, you take it. So he understands your body, what is there in the body. Or sometimes a doctor touches the nadi also, right? No? But does he know what type of person you are? He doesn't know. Actually, sometimes they can tell you are Pitta person or a Pitta Vata person or some Kapha person. To some degree, they can know about the bodily, what do you call it, the makeup of the body. And these also have a corresponding behavioral traits. Like people who are Kapha body, they have chubby cheeks, they will have little plumpy body. They are little jolly type people. And Pitta people are little angry people, sharp people, intelligent people. And they are plan making people, result oriented people, deadline oriented people. And the people who are Vata people are insecure people, fearful people. They're panicky and you know. Uh, so they know, and each of these guys get a specific problem. The Vata people get a bone problem, and Kapha people get a stomach problem. Sorry, Pitta people. Kapha people get sinusitis and all this. So Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, like that. So you can know some degree behavior, but can they exactly know the person? No. Who exactly will know that? Huh? Mother, father, correct. Mother, father, brother, sister. They know their nature, they know their behavior, because they have associated with them very closely. In the same manner, when you talk about the Supreme Lord, you know, jnanis are actually taking the magnifying glass and trying to study the, you know, truth in this world. What is Sat, what is Asat? They're exactly like a doctor studying your body. They cannot know you at all. They can know about you. They can know about your body, but they cannot know your nature, your swabhava, your behavior, uh, your dealings. So that only. Therefore, you will see even sometimes when a counselor, counselees, and all, when many years together they spend studying Shastra together and doing service together, they get to know a little more. And this is one reason why all of us are not comfortable with everybody. Right now, you're comfortable with somebody. And one of the reasons you're comfortable with somebody is that person knows you well. Correct, no? And then when you go to some unknown person, you deal differently. Probably you'll deal more officially or whatever. So in the same manner, this verse talks about the Supreme Personality. See, in the Upanishads, it's very, very rare to find a direct and open description of the personality of Godhead. Because I have already told you before that when you go from Karma Kanda to Jnana Kanda, and Jnana Kanda to Upasana Kanda, when you go. So Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda is mostly negating the negative. Focus is on that only, negating the negative. So the negative is what? Oh, give up your material desires. You have to get rid of the material world. And try to attain the Sat, Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasama, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma, Amritam Gamaya. This kind of focus only is there. And also it can at the most talk about how the Atma is different from the matter. This is a very big charcha in all the Upanishads. And also the glory and the greatness of Atma is also very much explained. Why? Because only then one will take the spiritual life seriously. Otherwise, one will waste one's human life chasing after the mirage of illusion. Correct, no? So how Atma cannot be cut by weapons, Atma cannot be burned by fire, Atma cannot be, you know, killed. So in this way, when one understands the nature of Atma, many sages are discussing in the Upanishads and all, you will find many sages talking about Atma, and the gati of the Atma is ultimately liberation, getting rid of the material tabernacle. One has just like a bird becoming free from a cage. That kind of freedom one should get rid of. So the whole discussions in Upanishads generally is the sufferings arising due to our material connection with the dead matter in this world. That means bondage in the material body. Like we said, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatareshayanam. Yeka samsare kaladustare kripaya pare pahi murare. So you will find Bhajagovindam, it is a part of Vivek Chudamani. It's called as Maya Mudgara Stotram, it's called. See, Mudgara means you make a chutney. Maya ko, you make a chutney of your illusion. Those verses. Therefore, when you read those verses, some of the verses, when you read, to understand the nature of the horrible nature of the material existence. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikarah shushke nire kaha kasarah shene vitte kaha parivarah jnate tatve kaha samsarah bhaj govindam bhaj govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. See what he says? Vayasi gate means as the age goes, kaha kama vikara. How will you enjoy your lusty propensities? Your your body and your senses all will lose their potential and energy to enjoy sexual activities. Then he's saying, shushke nire kaha kasara. How can you consider a pond if there is no water there? Similarly, all your senses and bodily amenities will dry up, he says. And kshine vitte, kaha parivara. No family will want you if you are a man who has no money in your pocket. People want to get rid of you. That comes in another verse also. Yavat, yavat, yavat uparjana saktaha. You are capable of earning money. Saval nija parivaro raktah. पश्चाजीवति झर्जर देहे वार्ताम कोपि न पृच्छति गेहे भज govindam. See what he's saying, that as long as you are sakta for dhana uparjan, vitya uparjan, then everybody respects you. The moment you are penniless, people will never even want to look at your face. That's material world is like that. In the Bhagavatam example is given of old ox. A old ox which cannot plow the land, and a cow which cannot give milk. Both are not given due respect. They are saying, take a, eat some grass and keep quiet. You are good for nothing. But if a cow gives milk, she will be given a lot of respect and a lot of fodder, and everything will be given to her so that she can give a lot of milk and they can sell. Similarly, a bull who can plow the land is very useful. So people always see from utility point of view in this world. So use and throw policy, isn't it? The material world. So he's saying, therefore, all this is said in that Bhajagovindam to help us understand. Please don't too much identify with your material situations, because this is temporary and you are not going to be here forever. The material world is like a lodge only. In the lodge, do you stay there forever? For 2-3 days and you push off. Yatra time, you go and stay in the lodge. After that, you are out. Material world is also lodge only. So, but then somebody may ask, okay, you are telling me not to stay here. What will I get there? So when I was reading many other organization books, like somebody is talking about Raja Yoga. I was practicing also Raja Yoga for many years. Kundalini raising, Kundalini. Almost 6 years I was practicing that. And also this Dhyana Yoga on Om, and also in concentric circles on a lamp. Dhyana room. So all these things, different. Actually, when people hear that you have to leave this world and go to some Jyoti, a big light, a bright light, it's a conscious light, and you have to be Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There are people like we say Hare Krishna, they say Om Shanti, Om Shanti. You know that? Yeah, correct. No? So, of course, they are happy with Shanti because you can only be happy with Shanti if you are thoroughly frustrated with material world. Huh? You are solidly frustrated. You understand that you don't, this material world is not your place. It's like that, what do you call it? Like once a cat drank some hot milk, no? His mustache got burnt. Huh? It got burnt. It was very hot, smoky hot milk. Foolishly, he put his mouth there. Huh? And after that, whenever he saw buttermilk, also what he did? He would blow and then think, isn't it? So these people are like that. They have seen the horrible side of the material world and they want Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. They want, you go and can we talk? Om Shanti. They say, don't talk, don't do anything. Shanti, Shant, baito bas. So they come to our temple also. One brahmachari went and called them. Sir, Mahalacha, don't talk. Sitting there. And he said, शांत बैठेंगे बोले थोड़ा नाम जप लीजिए नहीं नहीं कुछ बोलना नहीं है किसी से मिलना नहीं है नो कनेक्शन विद एनीबॉडी जस्ट शांति से बैठना है so of course this is good for whom Prabhupada says one who speaks nonsense for them the shanti is good correct no so they can at least they can shut their mouth they don't speak it but after you don't speak nonsense at all then you have to open mouth for what speaking the right thing speaking Krishna consciousness glorification of the Lord. So, therefore, most Upanishads also tell you Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. But some of the Upanishads end with Om Tat Vishnum Paramam Padam, like that it will end. Yeah. So they will end with Vishnum Paramam Padam, attain the. Then you wonder, what is this? We heard about Shanti Shanti. Suddenly one Upanishad saying Vishnum Paramam Padam. Huh? You have to attain some Padam, feet of somebody. So many times Upanishads will not tell you everything very frankly. Little bit they will sprinkle some of the truth. Because Upanishad is supposed to be curiosity arousing. Huh? And you are not supposed to understand everything while studying Upanishads. Therefore, some boys who are jnani type fellows, when you plainly tell them Krishna is God, you have to chant Hare Krishna and go back to Godhead, then it's too simple it is. You have seen people finding difficulty with that. Actually, me and Charan Champu have discussed about it. Sometimes when I take Charan Champu for a program, they will say, this Prabhuji, he speaks a little bit in their language. I say, goal, goal, goal. And when they're confused, they will say, God must be a little confusing. Easily you should not understand. See, if you tell people, Prabhuji, here is a glass of milk, can you take it? And here is a Krishna Prasadam. What is this? You guys are giving a simple vegetarian food. You say, sanctified lacto-vegetarian diet. It is what is it? It means another name for prasadam. But if you use such name, we wanted to tell in one particular, we were submitting some report somewhere. So they told us to write Harinam Sankirtan. Instead of that, they told us to write Global Walk for Peace or something like that. Global Walk for Peace. Sorry, why? I think, no, what is that? Global Peace March, yeah. It's like, walk for global peace or something like that. So that's what people understand, correct, no? You say Harinam Sankirtan, nobody understands what is it. Correct? So therefore you find the Upanishads very mysteriously present the truth. Actually they make you a little bit understand and then a little bit not understand also. Therefore those guys will not run away. It produces what? Curiosity to know more. See here in this Upanishad, there are 10 prominent Upanishads. Fortunately, Mayavadis also consider them important, these 10. And Vaishnavas also consider them important. And the principal Upanishads are same, you will see that. That's the most interesting thing. It's not that Mayavadis are holding on to some Upanishads, we are holding on, because these are such weighty Upanishads like Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Shweta Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Isha Upanishad. So these are all coming in the vital 10 Upanishads accepted by both impersonalists and personalists also. You will see that. So therefore, when you go to these Upanishads, you find in between the explanations will come about the personality of Godhead. Like the two birds sitting in a tree. You ask a Mayavadi, what is this two birds? You said only one bird is there inside. There are two birds in this bodily tree. What is it? So they have splitted their hair to give an explanation which will fit their understanding of absolute truth. What they will say, you see, right now there are two birds. One bird is fruit eating bird, one bird is silent bird. But after this bird gives up ego, they become one. He says, have you ever seen two birds becoming one? Tell me, anywhere in the world, isn't it? So it's all very, enigmatic or some kind of. Because this is the kind of explanation they want to give, like that. Like you say, Nityo Nityana, Chaitana Chaitananam, Yeko, Bahuna, Yo, Vidadati Kaman. What more you want? Tell me. He's saying there is one Eka, he says, and then there is Bahuna. There are many, he says. And then Vidadati means what? That Eka maintains the Bahu. Bahuna. Correct now? Eko Bahuna. Yovedati Kaman. What more you want? So you will find all over the Upanishads, you will find there is a, what do you call it? Abheda Vakya and Veda Vakya, both. Like I'll tell you some Abheda Vakyas also. Like for example, Shakti Matayor Abhedaha. That is a Shruti statement also. There's no difference between the Shakti and Shaktiman. Another Abheda Vakya, we can say Sarvam Kalvam Idam Brahma. Ultimately, everything is Brahman. And that's explained in Bhagavad Gita with that famous verse. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina, as the Krishna says. Which means the Brahmanas who are chanting the Vedic mantras, the mantras that are emanating from their mouth, the ladle that they are using, the ghee that they are pouring into the fire, the sacrificial uh, uh, fire itself, and all the ingredients used for the fire, they all are of the nature of Brahman, he's saying. Why they are called Brahman? Because all of them are spiritual, completely. Therefore, they are all called the Brahman. But although everything is Brahman, it's accepted, but everything is Brahman, but they all have their unique forms and they have their unique names also. Prabhupada says only in pitch dark at night there is no difference between everything. Everything is one. But once the sunlight is on in the sky, then you distinctly see things as they are. Oh, and there are men, there are women, there are children, there are animals, there are birds, there are trees, and there is water. Correct? Now you see the identities of everybody. Similarly, in the spiritual plane, although everything is called Brahman, there is a variety within Brahman. Correct? Now? The spiritual world. Like you find Lord Krishna, if you take him as a 10,000 watt, Lord Shiva is like 8,000 watt, Brahma is like 5,000 watt, isn't it? Indra is like 1,000 watt, and uh, and then you can see other demigods are like 500 watt, and Jiva is like 50 watt. Correct now? So there are different amounts of potencies in different living entities, and there are varieties like that in the powers also. You will see that. Similarly, avatars are also 6 types of avatars are there. Correct now? What are the 6 avatars? Guna avatar, Leela avatar, Purusha avatar, Shakti avatar, Yuga avatar, Manmantra avatar. Correct now? Varieties of avatars, and therefore it is avatarohi asankeyah. Bhagavatam says. Although there are many avatars, after studying Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prabhupada books, I clearly understood that, you can call everybody avatar only, but they come in different category. Like if you take even Narada is avatar also, but he is Bhakti avatar. But he is coming in Shakti category, not in the Shaktiman category. Hmm? Whereas if you see Prithu, uh, Prithu is also actually empowered incarnation, Shakti Avesh avatar. You will see like that. On the other hand, you will find the Lord himself descending in Matsya Kurma Varaha Narsingha. They are all as good as Krishna. Because Krishna Keshavadrita, Narhari Rupa, like that it comes. So one has to properly know the position of everybody, you see. That means even in the spiritual platform, there are varieties, undeniable varieties are there. But Upanishads generally don't get into those variety and everything because Mayavadis are impersonalists who study the Upanishad mantras and Upanishads. Their more focus is Brahmam Satyam, Jagat Mithya. So out of these two statements, that Jagat Mithya is the most of the research they will do. How this Jagat is Mithya, how horrible this material world is. Because they want to get rid of the, therefore even as sadhakas we will see, our endeavors are often to get rid of anarthas. And that is good in the beginning, but if that becomes our only singular absorption, it is not very good. Because getting rid of anarthas is good, but too much absorption in anarthas will also drown us in anarthas. Too much of thinking about it, talking about it, absorbing. It's like the doctor who told the patient that, see, before you eat this medicine, don't think of a monkey, monkey with a red mouth, like that he said. The doctor told that. So as soon as he would go take the medicine, what will happen? Doctor told me not to remember something. Which one? Huh? Red monkey, monkey with a red mouth. Then he couldn't take the medicine. The next day, so that doctor was nicely cheating him because he was taking a lot of money and giving medicine. The doctor told, see, you are not able to get cured. The problem is what? They are remembering the red monkey, he said. So, therefore, in the same manner, if you become it's not an international society for another consciousness. Correct, no? What consciousness it is? Krishna consciousness. And there is another category of fellows who say that, oh, Prabhu, never talk about anarthas, be positive. Oh, think of Vrindavan, think of Yamuna, Govardhan, all cows are running, Krishna. Prabhu, let us be very positive. And these guys become too psychic and you will find them roaming with women also. Hey, what's wrong? Don't tell me that side, Prabhuji, that I roam. But that is material education is condemned. Temporary material world is condemned. Demigod worship is condemned. Even the so-called impersonal worship for the sake of merging into Supreme and becoming one with God is condemned. All that is condemned in the previous. So such a useless education is condemned, and useless worship of the demigods and impersonal absolute, all that is condemned. So after the 6 verse of condemnation, then the 7th verse here, the mantra of 15, gets into Artha Pravriti here. Now it is going to tell you what God is. Till now it is told what God is not. It's like A dash. Till now you've been hearing about A dash. Now you're going to hear about A. That is the speciality of this verse. Because Mayavadi generally talk only about A dash. They talk about what absolute truth is not. So, like, they will quote Shruti mantras like which say that, uh, how can God come into this world? He must be such a great person. He can, I mean, not in person. It must be such a great entity. It cannot come into this world. As soon as somebody comes into this world, they label them as, somebody who's conditioned. So, therefore, and they also say that it is indescribable, anirvachaniya. It is nirvikara, nirvachaniya. It cannot be described, it cannot be spoken in words. As soon as you, therefore, if you study the Vedanta Sutra, Nyaya, if you see, there are so many examples, verses, everything given, how one should not artificially describe the absolute truth by words or by mind or anything. Because as soon as you try to describe something, it will be brought down to what plane? Material plane. That is their idea. And it is not that Bhagavatam doesn't accept this idea. Bhagavatam totally accepts this idea, but gives you a different perspective. I'll tell you one verse. The demigods in the Garbhastuti prayers, they say one beautiful verse. Nanama rupe guna janma karma vir nirupitavye tabatasya sakshinaha manovachobhyam anume yavartmano deva kriyayam pratiyam titapihi. The devatas are saying, Nanama rupe guna janma karma vir. My dear Lord, your Nam, your Roop, your Guna, your Janma, your Karma. These 5 things they are saying. Nirupitavye tapatasya sakshinaha. You are the only sakshi for them. Jivas, we are tiny creatures. We are 1 millionth of the tip of the hair. What is our ability to know all these things? Nirupitavye. You are a sakshi for your own all these 5 things, and we cannot know you. It clearly says. Mano vachobhyam anumeya vartmano. By mana or vacha, you cannot ascertain absolute truth. It is just not possible. But there is one way by which you can ascertain. Deva kriyam pradiyatapihi. By devotional service, you come to be known, they are saying. That is the secret. Like we say, Sevan mukehi jihvado, swayam eva sarva. That's the secret. Actually, the infinite can reveal himself to the infinitesimal. If who wishes? If he wishes. If infinite wishes. Like, for example, if somebody says, I know Narendra Modi, he says, what you should ask him? That's more important. Huh? That way, all 120 crore people in India can say, I know Narendra Modi, correct? No? But if you ask somebody, does he know you? I know him. We regularly talk on phone. If you want, I can connect right now. If he's able to connect you, and then PM is asking, who is that? What do you want? Then you know that this person has connection. The pure devotees are like that. They can possess Krishna and they can gift Krishna. Like Krishna say, Tomar, Krishna dete par, Tomari shakati ache. Amito kangal, Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. So, it's not that they have, they claim to have connection with Krishna. Krishna also is in touch with them. Correct, no? So therefore, this positive understanding of the absolute truth is now blossoming in this Upanishad from this verse onwards. So now the personality is being explained gradually here. In the yeah, yeah, correct. Actually, see, for one Sanskrit word, they can give innumerable meanings. Like I told once I met one Mayavadi in the train. He was sitting on that side. I was sitting here reading a book. He called me, come here. So I went, told me to sit. He said, the journey is very boring, no? Long journey he was having. So he said, we are going in the Pragati Express to Bombay, Pune to Bombay. So he said, about Pragati, I can tell you 12 meanings of Pragati. He said, Prakrisha Rupena Gamyati. Like that he started explaining, different meaning. I said, I have no time for your speculation. He's a Sanskrit pandit. He is mixing the words and doing something. I was reading Bhagavatam. I told him, right now I have no time. I have to study for a test. I told him. I came and said. So now, like I told you about the 2 birds, they gave some explanation. They become one. Now, which Purana, which Upanishad says that the 2 birds become one? Tell me. See, therefore Prabhupada is very heavy about these things because if they give explanation using their own brain, which is not confirmed by Shastric facts, then how can they claim that to be true? Correct, no? It is where is it coming from? That is not given in Shruti. Is there anywhere Shruti says that the 2 birds become one? It is coming from their own figment of imagination. Correct, no? In the same manner also, when the 7.24 verse says, abuddhaya, manyante mam abuddhaya. Avyaktam yaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya. So how will they explain? If somebody thought Lord is impersonal before, and now he has become a person, and such a person is abuddhaya. So when I read in those school days, I saw in one shop they were selling a Bhagavad Gita in which it was an economic edition. Economic edition, 15 rupees they said. Whereas the other Bhagavad Gitas and all were 70, 60, 70 rupees. So in India, people like which one? Cheap and best, correct, no? So immediately I took it bulky volume. It's a Mayavadi edition, one Mayavadi organization. So when I was going through that, when this verse came, so they just couldn't explain. They just wrote the translation as it is and zero purport, no commentary to that. They just wrote it. Now if somebody asks a question, why you are saying like this? So, and then some of them, when they give purport, what they will say, these are different angles that people take, which are also included by Krishna. Bhaktas take this angle, so it's given also. We jnanis take this, like that they will say when it comes. So here also they will say that this is an encouragement for doing bhakti to attain liberation, like that they will say. They will do murti puja, mantra uchara, and all these things, but they use them as a stepping stone for attaining liberation. Yeah. So therefore they consider just as they consider the jiva to be temporary, they also consider the Lord's form also to be temporary. That's one explanation they will give, false explanation. Another explanation they will give is, we don't say Lord has no form, but his form is of sattva, they will say. So when the Brahman touches, matter, then it becomes sattva. So Vasudev's form is made of sattva guna, they will say. And when Brahman touches, uh, so he is of the sattva form, and Rajoguna it is jiva, and Tamaguna it is matter. So these are all visible now, drishya jagat. But ultimately when the drishya jagat vanishes, so they will say that everything will become one, like that they will say. That is their own explanation. Now the question is, where is it mentioned? Who says that? So that's where Vaishnavas take literal meaning. They don't take, what do you call it, Gauna Vritti, Mukhya Vritti and So in Mukhya Vritti approach, what we do is, unless the explanation is given, we don't accept. In Gauna Vritti, what they will say that it is indirect meaning for which we will bring our explanation. And that's why Prabhupada is very heavy. Like when Dr. Radhayshyam Pr condemns for the Banmana Bhavat Bhakta verse. Because, nowhere it is said in Bhagavad Gita, but he is introducing whose version? His own version. And so he has to give the name Bhagavad Gita as I wanted it to be, instead of as it is. Correct, no? Say, for example, I am giving a class in English and one of you is translating. So I am saying, you see, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And, and he is the ultimate truth. And then one of the translators is saying, the ultimate truth is impersonal Brahman. He is translating. That means what translation is doing? His own translation is doing. Correct, no? Therefore, Prabhupada gets very heavy in this. Correct, no? Yeah, read the next paragraph.
The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is always filled with transcendental bliss, Anandamayo Abhyasat. When he was present at Vrindavan in India 5000 years ago, he always remained in transcendental bliss even from the beginning of his childhood pastimes.
In that Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, our Shankaracharya has written a Bhashya also. See, somebody was asking His Holiness Radhagovind Maharaj, we heard that the Jagannath Ashtakam was written by Shankaracharya. Is that true? And Maharaj said, see, I only know भगवान श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु के मुखारविंदों से अर्पित किया गया प्रार्थना. Which one? Jagannath Ashtakam. बस मुझे उतना मालूम है. Do you think he doesn't know who wrote it? He is not aware. He knows everything. But he likes to say who uttered it. So for us, why it is important for us? Not because Shankaracharya wrote it. Correct, no? Of course, some of the preacher devotees may use it. Even Jagannath is appreciated even by Shankaracharya like that. But actually, for those who are pure Vaishnavas, we recite it because it's uttered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kadachit Kalindi song. Yeah. In the same manner, what was I saying before that? Just prior to that? Vishnu Sahasranama. There Shankaracharya gives a Bhashya. So in the prologue, in the first part, when he writes, so he has to write about why is he doing this Vishnu Sahasranama. Correct, no? So I heard about a past time that he had kept the Lalita Sahasranama on the table for commenting on it. So he will keep the table and then he would go to sleep. Next morning he'll get up and see Vishnu Sahasranama will be there. 3 times it happens. Every day he wanted to translate and give commentary to Lalita Sahasranama, but that was gone. It wouldn't be there. Again and again Vishnu Sahasranam was saying. Third day when he understood that Lord is eager to see me comment on this. So he commented. So in his commentary, he says that the Brahma Jyoti is Paratatvam, but Lord Sri Krishna is Parat Paratatvam. He says like that. So there when his disciples heard it, they were flabbergasted. So then some of the senior disciples, how will they explain it? So they said, our Maharaj, our Swamiji, when he started writing this bhakti literature of Vishnu Sahasranam, he became overwhelmed with bhakti ecstasy. In that ecstasy, in an intoxicated state, he has spoken this. Like that, they have given interpretation. Huh? Because otherwise, how will they survive? Everybody will catch their ears, no? Correct, no? So, but Shankaracharya never said, in my bhakti ecstasy, I wrote, please forgive me. He never said that. That's what he has written. So therefore, you will find in Shankara's literatures, he is a covered personalist. So that can be exposed by those who read those literatures, who have read, we can capture those portions and put spotlight and show that. Those who are intelligent will understand he is a covered personalist. See, he is writing Gopi Ashtakam, and he is writing Jagannath Ashtakam. He is writing Bhajagovindam, and he is putting this kind of comment in the Vishnu Sahasranam. Panduranga Ashtakam also. Yeah, there are so many like that. Yeah, next.
The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is always filled with transcendental bliss, Anandamaya Abhyasat. When he was present at Vrindavan in India 5000 years ago, he always remained in transcendental bliss, even from the beginning of his childhood pastimes. The killings of various demons, such as Agha, Baka, Putana, and Pralamba, were but pleasure excursions for him. In his village of Vrindavan, he enjoyed himself with his mother, brother, and friends, and when he played the role of a naughty butter thief, all his associates enjoyed celestial bliss by his stealing. The Lord's fame as a butter thief is not reproachable, for by stealing butter, the Lord gave pleasure to his pure devotees. Everything the Lord did in Vrindavan was for the pleasure of his associates there. The Lord created these pastimes to attract the dry speculators and the acrobats of the so-called Hatha Yoga system who wish to find the absolute truth.
Prabhupada got some acrobats. People who walk on the tightrope, like this. So Hatha Yogis are like that. They are doing. Isn't it? You read next paragraph, so together we will explain.
Of the childhood play between the Lord and his playmates, the cowherd boys, Sukadev Goswami says in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.12.11.
Yittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijahruh krita punya punjaha.
The personality of Godhead, who is perceived as the impersonal, blissful Brahman by the Gyanis, who is worshipped as the Supreme Lord by devotees in mode of servitorship, and who is considered an ordinary human being by mundane people, played with the cowherd boys who had attained their position after accumulating many pious activities.
Read the next paragraph.
Thus, the Lord is always engaged in transcendental loving activities with his spiritual associates in the various relationships of Shanta, neutrality, Dasya, servitorship, Sakya, friendship, Vatsalya, parental affection, and Madhurya, conjugal love.
Yeah. So after this, Prabhupada is explaining about the Bhagavan aspect of Krishna is Anandamaya Abhyasat. So many people have a question. Why at all God, you say that God is a person and he has his Shaktis and, we are all his only part and parcels. We are very tiny. And why he has created this world? Why he has created that world? What's the need for all this? So many people who are very frustrated with the material world, they look for a solution in Shunya, in Shunyata. Shunyata means it's like a non-existence. Because they think that existence produces pain. So in order to completely nullify the pain, what should happen? Non-existence. And that's what they think. So Prabhupada tells a story of an uncle came to the home and Prabhupada told, the father was telling the uncle, two uncles came to the home, isn't it? So when father told, my son is, crying because his eyes are paining. So one uncle said, plug out his eyes. So he will not cry, he said. Another uncle came, he said, you finish that boy only. If you kill him, you will not make sound. Is it a good solution? So Buddhism means which one? Second one. Finish him only. Because he's making too much noise, just kill him, you will not make noise. So Buddhism says that, you finish your existence only, go to nirvana. Just merge into nothingness and you stop to exist so that you will not suffer. That is their solution. Yeah. And our impersonalist solution is what? The senses are the cause of trouble. Correct now. So deny the senses. Some impersonalists, eat one egg of one bird in the north. So then they become impotent. They become impotent. So if they become impotent by eating that, just then they won't be able to exercise the sexual organ. Does that make them brahmacharis? No. It is not like that. It actually there are, what about the spiritual absorption? Simply just like some people do some operation so that they won't be able to beget children. It's like that only. It's not that they have become Krishna conscious by that, isn't it? So therefore, this kind of why they are doing all these artificial things, because they are they have very hardly any good idea about the absolute truth. So it's like that uncle who was telling you pluck out his eyes, correct? No, because the senses are creating problem. So what is Vaishnava solution? Very simple. The eyes are paining because there is some cataract or some disease or something. So you repair the eyes, go to a doctor. Once eyes are cured, then what you can do with the eyes? Then you can see. Eyes can function without that pain. That means senses are right now kadindriya, make it sadindriya. Impure senses should be purified. Then it can be used in a right manner. That's Vaishnava solution. Very. In the same manner, say for example, somebody is overeating prasad, especially on festival days. You filled up the plate like a big mountain of prasadam, too many items. Sometimes when few people are taking, they fear that second time when I come, it may not be there. Some item. So in the first round only, what they do? They do. They take, and then they realize when they finish half, already stomach appears to be full, and they find it difficult. But in case people say, na, daba daba kar kao, they somehow they ate it. They, correctly. And next day they suffer a lot. Indigestion, burps are coming, they're feeling sleepy, they're very tired, some sickness, and whole body appears like a mountain to carry. You feel very uneasy. You have that experience right now. So when overeats are like that, then what is the solution for this? Somebody says, Prabhuji, I'm so terribly suffering after eating festival food yesterday. Why are they making so many items, Prabhu? Okay, they're making so many items. Who told you to eat all items? You can selectively eat, no? Like one devotee was telling me in the yatra, Prabhuji, when will the yatra end? I'm counting the days because too many items they are making. That means what is the problem? What is the problem? Yeah, he is not able to control. He actually he has to eat all the items. So at that time, what is the solution? Somebody may say that because you are eating all this variety, therefore you are suffering. He may say that just eat only one variety. That's rice. That's all. Eat only rice, plain bath. Nothing else. Plain rice, no salt, no sugar, no sambar, no this thing. Let all the other devotees eat full plate of prasad, you eat only. Because plain rice you can't eat too much, correct, no? You'll get tired. Basically, you want some little energy in the body, so just eat only plain rice. Another fellow says, see, eating has caused you a problem. So what do? Stop eating. That is Buddhist. Buddhist says, stop eating completely. And impersonalist says, only bath. Only rice. Nothing else. Plain rice. Eat, that's all. And what does Vaishnava say? Moderately eat. Correct, no? Eat properly. You can eat. Actually, in an unhealthy state, you cannot enjoy the senses. But when you're healthy, you can enjoy. So another example Prabhupada gives also beautifully. See, when you all have viral fever, your experience, we are negative axis. Correct, no? Because you see a person with viral fever means your tongue is bitter, body is hot. You feel very, very uneasy. If you lie down, you feel like sitting. If you sit, you feel like standing. If you stand, you feel very weak. You again feel like sitting. You go to the wash basin, you cough, mucus and everything, and people are coming to meet you. And you are doing activities, but the activities are not at all pleasant. Correct, no? Going to bathroom. As soon as you touch the tap, chill water comes. You feel uneasy, Touching that. Because sometimes you put on the geyser, light is on, but hot water is not getting hot. You have seen such geysers also. Isn't it? So you think it will be hot, you open and chill water is coming. So you feel, as if you have got a shock or something. Very uneasy. Can you eat good food? You eat only some soups. Vegetable soups or some bland diet or something. And then people are you're coughing, mucus, and you're having kerchief. So you feel very uneasy. But are you doing activities or no activities? You are doing activities, but the activities are all not at all pleasing. To whom? Not only you, to others also. When they come to see, for everybody. They also feel, take care, take care. Everybody says take care and go. You feel uneasy. So that is the negative axis. And then you put some antibiotics and 3 days, 4 days passes. Then gradually you come to 0, 0. There you feel the viral fever is gone now. So how do you know? You are gradually you feel the taste for food and then temperature is checked. So that is like the impersonal liberation, 0, 0. And then the positive axis purpose is, of course, in 0, 0, what happens? There is some period called convalescent period. You know what is convalescence? Convalescent means you have become freed from the fever, but your body is like a balloon without air. Balloon without air? It will be flat. Deflated balloon. Your body will be like a deflated balloon, isn't it? But that takes, I think, another 2 days, I think. Otherwise, it will relapse if you don't rest enough. Correct? No, because you eaten antibiotics and all. So you have to recuperate. 2, 3 days people rest. And then when you get healthy, then you get up, you jump in the Mangalarati and you eat full plate of prasad, you become very healthy. Correct? No? So you try to compare these three stages. Here a fellow is sick in the negative axis. In 0, 0, he is not sick, which means false ego is finished, but there is no true ego. Correct? No? In 0, 0. So he is not able to act like a healthy soul. He is not unhealthy either, but he is not healthy either. That is 0, 0. So after 3 days, can you say you are all right? You are not fully all right. Any of you had malaria here? Malaria? Anybody here? Yeah. So malaria also they say it will relapse if you don't take sufficient rest. Correctly, they say like that. So in the same manner, so that means 0, 0, 0 means material life. Negative axis means material life, and 0, 0 means liberated platform, impersonal Brahma Jyoti. That's like that. And going into spiritual world means positive axis, fully healthy. So this example Prabhupada gives somewhere. In the Krishna book beginning, you will read Prabhupada says, Bubukshu, Mumukshu, and Jivan Mukta. Three people. Material life means Bubukshus. And then there are Mumukshus, 0, 0, and Jivan Mukta. Means those who are purely liberated souls, and they have already become liberated, and as soon as they leave the body, then they never come back, they'll go. So we are all in Mumuksha category. Mumukshu is not a 0, 0 fellow. Mumukshus are Mumukshus. And the Bubukshus are enjoying material life. What enjoying? Enjoying is another name for suffering. Suffering and enjoyment are synonyms in material life. Yeah. Mumuksha, Bubuksha, and Jivan Mukta is a liberated devotee. So Krishna book can be read by both, all the three can read it. Bubuksha, Mumuksha, and Jivan Mukta. When Bubukshus read it, they get some fun, they get some thrill, enjoyment. And Mumukshus read it, they get purification. When Jivan Muktas read it, they get ecstasy. Correct, no? So all the three can be read, he says. So we'll continue it in the next class. So now, it'll, hopefully Krishna willing, it'll finish in the next class, I think. So Prabhupada ki और भक्ता वृंदा की
Hare Krishna. So we'll end the class here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Isopanishad ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. We'll meet next week. Hare Krishna.